Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partner Podcast. Positive approach to care. Virtual conference this year? What is a virtual conference, Teepa?
Well, it's a way we can get together when we can't get together. That wasn't our hope, our plan, or our dream, but it's as good as we can do, and we think it'll be pretty good.
Okay, so how's this going to work? Do I have to have any computer skills?
Well, not a lot. We are using an app that allows us to get people communicating. It's called Whova, W-H-O-V-A, and it helps. And we're using Zoom, which it has turned out that people are pretty comfortable at Zoom very quickly once you get on, because all you have to do is jump on and listen. And as a webinar format, you can even stay in your PJs or, sit at the table and drink coffee or go for a walk and still listen in on what we're doing.
Sounds like something from a sci-fi. What's your name? Hoover Zoom. Oh no, Hoover.
Hoover and Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's nice about it is we will do simultaneous webinars. So we're doing things our program this time is living under the umbrella, and we're doing things on different dementias. And so there are going to be some concurrent running at the same time options, but we're recording them. And if you sign up for the conference, then you get the recordings for a year. And so you could go whenever you want to and listen to the other ones that in a real conference, you can only go to one, that's it. So this opens up, so instead of just getting one, you now have an option to listen for different topics that we're all running at the same time. So that's an advantage in some ways. And you don't have to travel, which is sort of an advantage.
Disadvantage to your local economy, but that's a whole subject, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of a disadvantage to a local economy. It's also a disadvantage to actually us getting to be with each other, because that's part of some of the joy of having a conference where we all get together. We bring people together from around the world. Literally, over to Australia, New Zealand, England, Israel, Hawaii, Alaska. We've had people last year, we had people from all over, and that was the hope for this year until we got to March, and then that wasn't so much a hope.
So if somebody wants to participate in this, is there a big commitment? Like, do I have to commit to being there at a certain time, certain place, certain date? Or is it basically I can sit back and pick and choose, as you said, in my PJs?
Absolutely. So what's really cool about the virtual element is that if you sign up and you register, you can take in as much as you want that day. There's 2 days, but then you can decide, what, I have other things that have come up, I have to do that. And the recording makes it so that you can go back whenever, watch it and listen to it. You can do the audio track, you can do the audio visual. So there's a plus in it in that you can choose when and how you want to take it in after you've signed up to do it. You have choices. You can be live and participate, or you can be sort of quiet and sit back a little bit because you just want to listen in and you don't want to be active. And that's a little more difficult to do in real time. So virtually, it gives you more choices, I think.
You just raised something that I hadn't even thought of. If I'm watching and I see something that I think, wow, I should show this to my family, now I'll have the ability, because before I wasn't going to pay for my whole family to come to your conference.
You're absolutely right. And if you're watching from one device and you're a family member, you can actually have 2 people watching from that similar device, and both of you can sit in. You're welcome to sit in on it. If you have different devices, you would have to, we'd have to sign up each device. But if you're in one space and you both want to listen in on it, hey, you're good. You can do that.
So a lot of the presentations last year were interactive. We sang, we drummed, we played musical, thingies. Can you do that virtually?
Well, we can, and we actually are going to be doing a lot of things virtually. The plus is that since March, we've been doing a lot of things virtually, and we've gotten actually pretty remarkably good at it. We have simulations, we have interactions, we have opportunities. We know how to use Zoom fairly interactively. And so we've also learned how to do things like chat or Q&A. So we've mastered a lot of the skills that would make it possible. If you want to be there live with us, it'll feel like you're live with us. And some people even have taken courses and go, this was really good. I really thought I wouldn't feel like it was, we were together, and it's like, oh, we were so together. And then it was really cool is I didn't have to park the car or arrange for babysitters. It was really great.
So at a virtual conference, can you have guest speakers? Can you have other topics besides TIPA? Because you can't be in 4 rooms at once.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, so what we have is we have people who are living with dementia who will be presenting some of their perspective, and we have family members and we have professionals. And then we have people who've got skills and abilities and expertise in different areas. So one area is, for instance, young onset Alzheimer's. We've got Lewy body dementia and disease. We have another one is frontal temporal lobe dementias. We have also, we're looking at vascular dementia, and then we're looking at having more than one dementia called mixed picture. And then we might be looking also at sort of when we have a dementia and there's other things going on, maybe alcohol related. We're looking at not only having it, but then how do we help people live well with it? What are some of the interventions? What kind of skill building? And we will actually have some of our folks there working on building skills, in addition to building awareness knowledge.
So some of the skills that we employed so much last year, the visual, the verbal, the touch, the learning styles and things like that, can you address those virtually?
Yeah, in lots of ways we can. And it's particularly exciting when people have a partner at home, because we'll have some partners where we are, and so we can demonstrate, they can demonstrate back, but we also have simulations where we can do that. The verbal is very helpful because we will have, at this point, I think we have something like over 50 people living with various dementias who've spoken up and volunteered to be partners for folks. So if you want to know whether or not what you're doing might be helpful, they're willing to be partnered with you. So they're willing to be part of the learning process and sharing process. So it's not just about people who are skillful and supportive, it's people who are actually living under the umbrella for real, and their families who are willing and able to share part of what they've learned, so we can really learn to support one another.
So this isn't just for PAC people. This is for anybody who is mildly curious, anybody who's seriously curious. It's for professionals, families.
Yeah, we've got families, we've got professionals, we've got anything from university PhD types all the way through healthcare workers or a community support person, because we try anyway to serve everyone. We don't have a bias or prejudice about educational background. What we really care about is people who want to help people. And it's not just about dementia, it's about changing our own brains and finding ways to connect and realize, ooh, well, if I were on the other side of that mirror, I'd like somebody to do X, and learning a little bit more about what that looks like.
Is the sign-up process fairly user-friendly?
We hope so. It's on our website and it's the conference page. And if you click, it will take you through, and you can choose whether or not you need formal CEs, continuing ed hours. And if you do, and you're in certain categories, you have to pay extra because we had to pay extra to have somebody do it. If, however, you don't need that, you just have this basic cost. And if you're partnered with certain groups, you may be eligible for a really significant discount, because we do work with a number of people in the world and groups in the world and organizations, and they are doing some sponsorship. So it allows us to open the door in more ways as far as reduced cost.
So tipasnow.com, and then look for a button that says conference.
Yeah.
Push the button, and it's simple after that, because a lot of people are not really that familiar with computers.
Yeah. And we'll also have some pre-conference practice sessions for Zoom, so folks can drop in and try some practice and just feel comfortable that they know how to use the technology with the device they're going to be on, because we want it to be a good experience for everyone. And it turns out if you practice a little ahead of time, sometimes that makes it better and easier when you go to do it in the moment.
You know, and the funny question that I forgot to ask you right off the bat is dates. When is this?
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about November 16th and 17th. We're having a fun time the evening before, and well, depending on where you are in the world, evening before. Sunday evening, Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be together virtually.
And people can have their own virtual cocktails.
They sure enough can, and we can have coffee in the morning and decaf later in the day, and we can raise a toast. And we will also have a concert. We have Jay Allen, who's a country singer, who wrote a song for his mom, and Blank Stares is the song. And she actually passed away, but it gave him an opportunity. He saw the magic of the music. And so we'll be doing a variety of things with music and rhythm, which we all know makes a difference. So,
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg. It was great talking to you.